And then the travel time was crazy. It was like hour and a half, almost 2 hours to get to my job too.
Each way?
Yeah,
And you're doing all of this at 18. You're doing 3 hour commute every fucking day
yeah,
to
yeah.
make.
And I'd be closing, so it'd be like icy and it'd be terrible.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's up? Where are you right now? I'm hearing some like stuff in the background.
Oh, it muted me. I accidentally touched my cheek.
Oh, hello?
All right, can you hear
Okay.
me now? Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I can.
So sorry. Technical difficulties.
No, what's up, man? What's going on? Where are you right now? You sound like you're at a place.
Yeah, I'm at a hospital right now.
You're at a hospital right now. Are you working there or are you dying?
I'm a friend of somebody who's dying.
Oh. Oh, dear.
Or I guess almost died. Almost died. They're good now.
Oh, okay, there's a big difference. Are they dying? Well, I guess we're all dying, but are they? Well, how are you to your friend?
Oh, they're good now. They had like a tear in their brain from a car accident that happened years ago, and then they
geez.
got super stressed recently and had like a seizure. But they're
God.
chilling now.
They're chilling now?
Yeah, they're chilling now.
Okay. What's your relationship to them? How do you know this person?
Oh, I'm dating their daughter.
This is your girlfriend's father?
Mother.
This is your girlfriend's mom.
Yeah.
And how's she? She's doing okay?
Yeah, it happened like a couple days ago. They just what is it? The dad asked to have her over like an extra day or two, so they're observing her, and she's doing all right.
All right, cool. How's your girlfriend?
And she's doing all good.
How's your girlfriend? I'm. Here's the thing, and here I guess why I am going to assume that I guess it's easy to assume that your girlfriend's mom is doing okay, because if she wasn't, I'm going to assume you're a good enough boyfriend that you wouldn't be on the phone
Yeah,
with
I
the
wouldn't be
therapy
on the
gecko in this
No, I
moment
would
if
not
your
be on the
girlfriend's
phone.
mom was in horrible pain right now.
Yeah, no, she's doing wonderful.
Okay,
and my
cool.
girlfriend, she was stressed at first, but she's 'cause she's all stabilized now and things are good. She wanted to come home yesterday, but yeah, so it should be all right. Should be all right for now.
Is your girlfriend there with you in the hospital?
She is actually, yeah.
Where is she? Like, where are you? Are you in like a hallway? Or are you in the hospital room? Like, where are you taking this phone call from?
I'm in a hallway that's like across from their room.
Okay. What are you? How long have you been at this hospital for so far?
Oh, personally, I mean, it's been like what time is it right now? I'd say like 2.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let me do this. What's your name, by the way?
Angel.
Angel.
Yeah.
Well, Angel, I mean, we could keep just chit-chatting, but I guess before we do that, I'll ask you if there's anything in particular that you called in to talk about.
I mean, I've got two things. I'll let you choose because they both have like a bit of context. When I was 7, I got legally kidnapped by my grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
And then I financially supported 2 people for about 4 years. To find out recently that apparently like halfway through they cheated on me the entire time.
Oh my God.
So we got a array.
All right. Well, talk to me here. I'm curious. I mean, about your life presently. I guess which of these things is more present for you?
I'd probably have to say the getting cheated on because they left me with like an $8,400 bill for the apartment.
Jeez.
Yeah, but I mean, like I worked it out. Just got to deal with the bill, I suppose.
Yeah, man. What happened?
So like, oh man, Started in Colorado, I suppose. Went from Colorado. We moved to Oregon. And I've known this lady, this chick named since I was like 14.
We're going to bleep that.
Maybe 16.
We're going to bleep that. We're going to call her Lorraine so that everyone can assume that you're dating an 85-year-old woman.
All right, Lorraine. You're right, Lorraine. So yeah, I've known Lorraine since I was like 14. And we started officially dating like 17. We move out together. And like first 6 months is all right. She's holding down a job, you know. She's doing all right. Meet some of her friends. Her friends and I, we all move out into an apartment together. We do that for like 6 months, and the original plan was like I was going to move to Maine with Lorraine. And they were like, no, let's go with the roommates into Oregon, because one of the roommates, grandma had like dementia, and they moved her grandma over to Oregon. And she was like, you know, my mom will pay for it because she's well off. She's got like, what is it called? Like dead people money, inheritance. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, okay, you know, don't really know where we're going. We got no plan. Like, I don't know. I was iffy on it, but I was like, all right, you know, if you want to do it, Lorraine, we got this. So we move on over there, and maybe around like 2021, 2022, I think 2021. And I was one of the first ones to get a job. Lorraine, almost the entire time, did not have a job. So, doesn't have a job, but we're still like working through it. And there's one time I'm like, hey, like Lorraine, I'm not going to lie, you need to like make rent by the end of this month. Or no, I give it like 3 months. I was like, in 3 months, you kind of need to like start making rent. Or
how old are you guys at this point?
I was, I'd like to say 18 or 19.
Oh, wow, geez. So how old is she? The same age?
Yeah. We're like a month apart.
Okay, all right. So so you guys are like really doing it at fresh 18.
Oh, yeah, no, 17 is when we originally moved out.
Jeez,
but 18,
okay.
We moved out of state.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pretty, locked in financially.
Right.
It gets to a point where I'm covering her rent and mine, and that's like $1,400. And then I'm also helping. Okay, what's his name? I'm gonna go.
Well, that's
Jack.
That's wild to be doing that so young.
Yeah. I mean, I've been working since I was like 14. So it's nothing new.
Mm-hmm.
But I locked in on that. Like, I got my GED. I was up in Maine for a bit, and then I came over to help her out. That's the Colorado, and then moving into Oregon. It was a domino effect. And so, what is it? Yeah, basically do all that, support them, cover. I'm gonna call him Zach. Cover Zach's bills as well.
Okay, wait. Who's Zach?
Near the end,
who is Zach?
Zach is a fake alias name that I made for the guy she cheated on me with.
Okay, wait. But so why are you? Okay, so you're living you're 18. You were living with your 18-year-old girlfriend and some guy. Not some guy. It's also same roommates that we had in Oregon. In Colorado, we have in Oregon now. We're not right now, but like when we moved, so you, your girlfriend, so you and your girlfriend and these roommates all moved together to Oregon from Colorado.
Yeah, and we've known these guys for a minute too.
Okay, so now you're you're 18 years old and you're financially supporting the whole fucking house?
No, just Lorraine and Zach.
Okay. Why are you financially supporting Zach?
Well, he was like, it was a bad choice at the time, but it was like, he was I considered him kind of like a little brother figure, you know, because I related to a lot of the issues he had, because he went through like a bunch of physical abuse. He was a little held back, like kind of mentally. So I pitied him a little bit. I felt bad for him because I knew how rough it was. So I was like, I got you a little bit. I'll get you here and there. Like so much so that I did genuinely consider him to be a little brother. And like near the end of that whole renting thing, we were going to move into a separate place, which we did. But then he ended up on my phone plan as well. So I was paying for his phone bill. And paying for her phone bill as well. Yeah, and then, what is it? We moved into this new apartment, and she's having issues again, but we moved out of the, like, we moved away from the other roommates, and we moved into this new apartment with a different roommate. And we're clutching up a little bit, except Lorraine loses their job, Zach loses their job, and then the other roommate also loses their job. And it's just me. And I'm making like, $1,400 a month. I can't cover like 2.1K bill. So I'm struggling. I'm like, guys, I don't know if we can, if this is sustainable.
Well, wait, so you were making $1,400 a month. How were you even like making enough to like support? I mean, damn, like $1,400 a month. Like, how are you even making? That's like barely, I guess, enough to even support yourself, let alone like two other people.
Yeah, no, it was tough. I just had to like, it was $1,400 a month if I'm not like trying too hard, but I'd say it was around maybe like 16, 18, 2K if I was really able to pick up enough shifts. Because I was like working at a Dave & Buster's fixing up games. And then the travel time was crazy. It was like hour and a half, almost 2 hours to get to my job too.
Each way?
And yeah.
You're doing all of this at 18. You're doing 3-hour commute every fucking day.
Yeah.
To make.
And I'd be closing, so it'd be like icy and it'd be terrible. It'd be like 1:30 a.m. and I'm walking. It's like windy. It's icy. I'm like, all right, you know what though? Like I like the job. I like fixing games. I like electricians' work. So. I was suffering for an all right cause because I enjoyed it.
Damn, dude. I have a couple questions. I want to hear the rest of your story, but I want to butt in with like 2 questions. How old are you? How old are you now? How old are you now?
I turned 21 in March.
You turn 21 in March?
Yeah.
I thought you were like at least 7 years older than me, honest to God. You have the demeanor and the ethics of someone who I thought was at least 39 years old.
I appreciate that. A lot of people tell me I have a lot of restraint. They're like, if it was me in your situation, I would have been like airing the place out or like starting fights, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm just too tired for that,
Jesus Christ,
I did all that while
being
legally kidnapped.
Who the fuck are you, man? You're what's up with your parents? Like, where were they at the time?
My mom's in Maine, and she's dealing with like another 2 siblings that I got. And my he's a deadbeat, deadbeat dad type situation. And my mom's she was trying to start up her own business. I was helping her out with that, which is part of the reason why I was working at 14. Well, no, because when I met her, I was like 16. So when I was working at 14, it was more like gang activity. But then I moved to Maine, started helping my mom out, and it turned into like cleaning Airbnbs and construction work and flooring and stuff like that.
Shit, man. All right, so
got my PED and stuff.
All right, so you're 18. You move out. You're supporting your girlfriend and this other guy. You're driving 3 hours back and forth to work. Dave and Buster's.
Public transport.
Oh, you're taking the fucking bus. You're walking and taking the fucking bus to Dave and Buster's an hour and a half. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. One time, I ended up closing and I didn't have a ride, so I had to walk the 10 miles. That one was funny. It was like 1:30 a.m. and I'm just walking all the way from Clack to Gresham. That one was nice.
I genuinely, I feel like such a baby talking to you right now. I really do. I really do. I don't know if you get that very often, but I feel like a baby
I
talking to
don't.
you.
Please don't. I've been wanting to call you for years. Like I actually I called you one time, and I made it to the wait list. I think in like 2021 when I first moved into the apartment in Colorado.
Mm.
I got rejected because it was a dumb reason, though. It was really dumb. I was like, "What about streaming?" And I was like, "No, everybody asks that." So I realized my mistake.
Well, here, I want to hear the rest of your story. So you're okay. You're 18. You're the Dave and Buster's hero. You're taking the bus.
Yeah.
You're walking home in the rain. What? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So then we move into this other apartment with the other roommates, right? Everybody loses their job. Nakia is packing stuff, and I'm a little autistic, right? She's packing stuff. She just moved from like her room into the loft, and she's like, I don't know, it's just cluttery. And I'm kind of a minimalist, so I was like, no, honestly, I get that. I didn't think of anything of it until like a week later. She just disappears and like sends us a message being like, hey, I'll come back to sign off the lease later. I'll try and help y'all find a different roommate, but I can't do it. A little before then, I break up with Lorraine because it's like, it's draining. I can't handle it. And she immediately gets with Zach, like immediately, sleeping in his bed. They're chilling together, cuddling up, getting cozy, drinking, all that. So I'm like, all right, I might as well, like, I'll put myself back out in the field as well. Which they get angry at, which is weird to me. So I was like, I'm following your rules, like I didn't just do this randomly. I just want to, like, I got to get my mind off it, because not only do I know you're with somebody who I consider to be my little brother, you're with him in the same house. I have to see it daily. Like, you got to give me a break.
Mm.
And so they also tried to say like that I was a big cheater and that I was cheating the entire time. And then I realized like it was a lot of projection, because since the old house, they would like apparently when I wasn't there, they'd be like holding hands, or like we come home and they're like both asleep on the couch together and like stuff like that. But because I saw him as a little mentally delayed, and I related to his issues because he's got a dead mom, and I'm a big mama's boy, so I was like, oh, poor Zach, poor Zach. I wouldn't expect him to do anything like that. And then right after they all lose jobs, Zach and Lorraine get together. We start to lose the apartment because, right, nobody's paying rent except for me, and I can't pay $2,000 in rent, as well as electricity, Wi-Fi, phone bill, like food. I can't cover it all. Like, I'm drowning. So I'm like, hey guys, I don't want to catch this eviction. I really suggest like you guys got to get a plan or something to do something, because we either get the money to pay for this or I give up ownership, because I can't take this eviction on my record. So they moved to Colorado together, and I move out, and they kind of foot me with the $8.4 grand bill, which is, I mean, it sucks, but I've got a couch I'm paying like $500 for, I guess. So I'm warm, I'm fed, I can deal with it. I have time to deal with it. I can build up the funds. And the girlfriend I have right now, her dad offered me a job, like $51 an hour at a construction site that starts in like March. So I'm excited for that.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Damn, man. So, tell me about what's your life look like now?
I'm living with the original roommates we moved out with. What do I call them? I'm gonna go with.
Aries, so how many?
Albania.
Aries and I'm gonna probably forget those two names, but
that's all right.
So it's you and those two.
Yeah.
And so Zach and Lorraine are gone. They're doing their own thing.
Yeah, they moved to Colorado. She's still like making reposts about me, which I'm like, come on, man. If you have a man, you shouldn't be thinking about me anymore. Especially if you've been cheating with this dude for a minute. Like,
well,
and how I found out is she told oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you go. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I found out because she told a mutual friend of ours, and the mutual friend like reached out to me to be like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, she told me this, and I was like, oh, I'm at work right now, but thanks for letting me know.
So are your two roommates, are they paying rent?
Yeah, they're paying rent, which is good. And I have very reduced rent because I got the couch, so I'm only paying $500 now, which is a big step down from like $1,450 and $1,600 a month. Man,
goddamn, you're a real, like, I don't know, just talking to you, I'm like, damn, you're only 21, or you're not even 21 yet.
Yeah, I'm 20 right now, 21 a month, or
Jesus
once in a week.
Christ, man, you're gonna be. I don't want to like inflate your head too much or whatever, but you're gonna be okay for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Because you just, I know that's a lot to say to you right now, and and I don't know how much that's worth coming from me, but just hearing the way that you fucking, you know, are just going out of your way to take care of other people, and by the way, you're going out of your way to take care of other people at your own detriment, which has you know, its own set of whatevers. But I mean, goddamn, dude, you just you got this crazy work ethic to you at such a I don't know any when I was 20. I don't know anyone else who would, you know, put up with all of this stuff. I mean, it's interesting. It's commendable. What's your dream? What do you want to actually do with your? What do you want to do with your life?
Oh, I want to two things. I'm either like it's kind of dumb, but I either want to like pro game and stream or become an electrician. So I'm going to rock out with both of those and try, I suppose.
Aren't you already an electrician?
Your dad knows anybody in the electrician field. Almost. I'm like a game technician, or I used to be because I just switched jobs because I needed more hours. So like I know more about the field, and that's what kind of got me into that field because I was messing with wires, you know, checking the ohms of stuff, switching out micro boards and chips and disassembling things to put a switch in somewhere. Like I found that really fun. So it's like I either want to do that if I can't, or not even can't, I'll even do that main or on the side if I have the pro gaming streaming thing comes to fruition as well.
Well, look, here's the thing. If you think you want to be, I don't know why I'm giving you advice right now. You know, I could ask you for advice more than I could give any to you. But I don't know. Hey, look, if you want to be an electrician and you want to be a programmer, I think the cool thing is that you could do both. I mean, the electrician is probably where the money is, and then, you know, stream and play games on the side and enjoy your fucking life.
Yeah, I'm hoping, you know. It's a big hope. It's a big prayer. I think one of the big things I've got to do is learn to, like, know when to stop taking care of people, because I think I have, like, a savior complex about it.
Yeah. I guess that was kind of one of the, I mean, I don't know. It's hard, right? Because I think it's obviously it's like good to care about other people, but especially like, I don't know, just at 18 to be taken on all people. Yeah, that's too much. It's too much, man. At young of an age to be doing that. So I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess, like, do you think that you're, like, taking care of people, like, to your own detriment?
I mean, I think I used to. Right now, I'm just kind of... I honestly couldn't tell you, like, if I am or not. Because, like, ever since childhood, it's just been a thing to, like, I was forced to work since a young age. I was forced to look out for other people my entire life. So it just kind of comes naturally, So,
yeah, sure.
like, I couldn't even tell if it's detrimental or not until after the fact. And, like, all the things I've done previously are usually detrimental. But, like, while I'm going through the motion, like, I'm just doing it.
Okay. All right. Well, man. Well, look, man. I don't know. You work hard, so make sure that you're doing all right before you rape your own fucking before you stick a straw in your heart and let other people suck all the blood out of your body.
No, seriously, I need to work on that. I do need to work on that.
Mm-hmm. It's been nice talking to you, man. What's your name again? Angel?
Yeah.
Angel. Oh, you don't... We're gonna bleep that. We're gonna... We don't need... I'm gonna bleep... I'm not gonna... We're a fake first name only podcast over here, so we're gonna bleep that.
I got it. I appreciate
Angel, is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
Oh, let's see. Keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. No matter what happens, you can always find a way. You won't find a way if you're just stressing about what will. You got to just do what you can with what you got.
Hey, take care, Angel. Good luck to you.
Hey, you too, man. Goodbye.
Man, what a fascinating interview with a 53-year-old, 20-year-old. That guy was, I don't know, bro, sometimes you just, like, you ever just talk to someone who has, like, just makes you feel like such a piece of shit? That was what that whole conversation was. That whole conversation made me feel like a piece of shit. Not to make it about me, but, yeah, that guy, that guy just bent his entire body into a fucking slinky for people who fucked them over. And, I'm sure, it was a bit of some time ago, but he doesn't even say, that's the thing, is he doesn't even seem rattled about it. He just keeps going, this guy. He's gonna be, sometimes I just talk to people on this podcast, and I'm like, this fucking guy's gonna be fine. This person's gonna be fine, because they just have the thing that lets them just take life's miseries and spit them out with so much grace. It's fascinating. I wish I had that. I'm trying to work on that a little bit more. I'm trying to work on, like, life not being perfect and amazing all the time. And the more, and it's hard. I don't want to, I know my own real life brain so much, and I don't want to be one of those motivational people who sits on a podcast and goes, life is all about perspective, and then go into my real life and, mentally complain. But I just keep running across situations in my real life and in doing this podcast that just make me keep being like, damn, life is about perspective, especially when we have a caller like this last one who just gets it, who just gets it in the fucking chest, takes it with pride, keeps going. He's gonna be fine. I hope he he's a great target for, like, a love scam or something like that. I hope he doesn't. I hope he maintains some kind of, like, self-preservation. This guy, right? That's a weird conundrum. Is, like, how much do you attempt to self-preserve versus how much do you give to others? Because if you're 100% self-preservation, you're gonna be fucking miserable and alone. But if you're 100% giving to other people, then you're not gonna have anything, and you're also gonna be just an empty squeeze. You're gonna be an empty plastic water bottle in a gutter. I don't know. I'm being dramatic. Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, what's your name?
My name's Abby.
Abby, what's up, Abby? Like Abbey Road, you know the Beatles?
A little bit. Not too much, sadly.
How old are you? Can I ask?
19.
Okay, I was just thinking about this. We're getting to a point in time where I was like, at some point, there's going to be like a generation of people who just don't know who the Beatles are.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Do you know anything about? Do you know anything about the Beatles? I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing this right now, but I'm just curious.
Oh no, you're good. I know they're British. I know John Lennon is kind of maybe a bad guy.
Okay.
I know they have some pretty good songs.
Okay.
I can't list too many, but you know.
Okay. You're aware that the Beatles exist.
Yes.
You know who they are. You know, like if I say the Beatles, you're not like, what's that?
Yeah.
Okay, but the information you have, can you name one Beatles song?
Isn't there Hey Jude? There's
there we go. Okay.
Here Comes the Sun.
All right, and you're 19. Okay, so I think in the next 5 years we're gonna have 19-year-olds who don't know who the Beatles are.
Really? You really think that?
I think so. I don't know. I'm insane. I was talking to ChatGPT and I was like, this is something I literally asked to ChatGPT. I was like, when do you think people will forget about Garfield?
That's
like
kind of crazy to me because you know the internet and everything. Like I feel like that kind of stuff's just going to be around for a really long time.
But I don't because here's the thing, like I don't, like if you're like 15, you're probably watching some like YouTube thing that I have no fucking idea what, like you're probably not like when I was 15, there was still like we would go to, I don't know why I'm going on this rant, but like there would be like a movie that everyone would watch. But now like for young people, like media is so like segregated and it's not as homogenous as I think it was, and it's getting like rapidly less and less homogenous. So I just wouldn't be surprised if there were like a lot of like, I don't know, like people in high school who just don't know who Garfield is. Like soon. Like where do you find out who Garfield is? Like who on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram is like talking about Garfield? Like how do people even keep knowing who he is? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But I guess, I don't know, for me growing up on the internet, I kind of just got everything all at once just thrown at me, you know? So I feel like
yeah, go ahead.
I feel like it will last a pretty long time.
But it's interesting because when you say you got everything thrown at you all at once, it's like, well, what is everything? I mean, you know SpongeBob. I think SpongeBob's gonna be around for a long time.
Oh yeah, of course.
But you weren't like okay, so the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob is where most of the memes come from. It's like the golden age, and like I think I was at like SpongeBob watching age a little bit after those came out. But you were probably at SpongeBob watching age like long after those came out. Like we were on the SpongeBob seasons that people consider shitty when you were around like the age that SpongeBob is, I guess, marketed towards.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I think my parents actually bought like the older disc or like the older seasons of SpongeBob when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Instead of like the newer ones.
They're good.
So maybe you got a point there.
Like, are you familiar? You know the episode where Squidward forms a band?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. I don't know why. I guess I'm like pessimistic because I don't know a lot about like do you watch like Mr. Beast? Like, who's the guy now?
I don't really know. Like, I think I'm just too busy with like college. I don't know.
Right.
The interesting thing about Mr. Beast is I actually knew someone from my high school who got on to his Amazon show.
Oh, really? Well, how'd that go for them?
Which is
Are
really
they dead?
Strange. I think they got out first episode. I think they had like a 1-second thing, but it was so cool seeing that.
I have a random thought. Hold on. By the way, I know that you called in probably to talk about something, and we're going to get there, but I just need to talk about Garfield for like one more minute.
Oh, you're so good. Don't even worry.
I opened the last podcast by talking about how we're part of the 6% of people who are alive out of all the people that have ever been born. And I got somebody made a comment. Because you can make like comments on Spotify now, and somebody made a comment being like, "Lyle, you need to shut the fuck up about death. You need to see a therapist. You're clearly very depressed, but like you need to shut up about it and like go get therapy. You're depressed." And I'm like, maybe I actually think this person is right. I think about death too much because I just had this thought just now. I was like, like okay, a human being. Let's say you live to 80. Like, how much time of the 80 years of your life does the average person spend looking at Garfield?
That's interesting. I thought you were going to go a completely different route. I thought you were going to go a little bit more depressing of, like... I thought you were going to be, like, more depressing of, like, how long does the average person now spend looking at their phone? But I guess Garfield's a lot funnier.
Oh no, that's really depressing. Oh, well, because there's like there is a mathematical percentage. I'm looking at a picture of Garfield right now. There's a mathematical percentage. You know what? Fuck that
You're adding
Spotify
to your
commenter
time right now.
Fuck that Spotify commenter guy. I'm gonna keep talking about death. It's important. I'm looking at Garfield 100%. Right now, and it's like I always wonder about like you ever heard that thing of like, oh, when I die it would be cool to have like stats. Like there's a literal percentage of the time I have been alive and the time that I will until I die that you can calculate. That is a number of the percentage of time that I have been alive that my eyes have been looking at Garfield. And I'm just curious what that percentage is, and I'm curious what that percentage is nationally, across all the people that have died. Before 1976, the answer was 0%. But then after Garfield was created, that number went up. Okay, what'd you want to... Okay, all right, I'm done with this. What did you want to talk about today?
Well, I was just gonna ask, how often do you think about Garfield? If you're having all these questions
truly
about
not that often. Truly not that often. I don't know why, but I just, like, searched. That is, because ChatGPT, it's like talking to fucking God, dude. And you can ask it insane questions, and it will because if you're, like, talking to your friend, and you're like, when do you think Garfield will be forgotten? Your friend will go, what? Shut up. What are you talking about? That's a really stupid thing. But if you have a really stupid question and you ask it to AI will use power to fucking try to answer your stupid question. It will never tell you that your question is too stupid. Sometimes I think it should. Sometimes I think if you ask Garfield a question like, if you ask ChatGPT a question like, when will people forget Garfield? I do think, as part of an artificial intelligence safeguard to prevent it from destroying humanity, it should tell you to go outside. Yeah. But it doesn't do that. It actually helps you answer your stupid questions. What's up? What's your name again?
Well, now, Abby, I do wonder what ChatGPT would say to your question now, though.
Yeah, but you could just keep asking. I've asked it so many questions that are like, why do I need to know the answer to this? Sometimes having questions is better than having answers.
100%. Sometimes you don't need to know the answer.
Yeah. I don't like reading the chat on the podcast, but I'm going to do it. Somebody in the chat just said, good friends will hear out any questions that you ask. And I don't think that that's necessarily true. I think occasionally a good friend... you know what? Maybe that's true. But if you if you ask if I treated my good friend the way I treat ChatGPT, if my good friend was good enough, my good friend would be like, you need to drink some water and have a cigarette, and you'll be okay. What's up, Abby? How you doing?
You just got to keep people real. I'm doing all right. I just got the flu, but that's okay because I'm getting better.
That's a very optimistic thought to have. I'm curious, and it's totally okay if you didn't, because we found our way to whatever this is. But did you have something specific that you wanted to talk about today?
I have a very interesting story to tell, I guess.
What's it about?
So I'm a twin, and when I was younger, my mom signed me and my brother up for a twin study, and it went very interesting. I'll say that.
Okay. Care to elaborate?
So I guess I was like, I don't really know how old I was. I guess at that age where I was like marketed towards SpongeBob, like what were we talking about? Mm-hmm. And there was this college, and they were doing just studies on twins. And since I'm a twin, I think my mom got some money out of it, and she's like, "Oh, I'll just sign them up for it. Like, what's the worst that could happen?" And we go in there, and they immediately like start asking us like the normal health questions, like how old are you guys, like who's older, all that other stuff. But there's 2 rooms behind these 2 people that are like that. I guess they're the ones that are doing the test on us, and they tell us that there's going to be like a quiz test and there's going to be a physical test. So my brother goes into like the quiz test, and I go into like the physical test, which is like in the room right over. And you go into this room, and it's really tiny, and this lady has this L-shaped desk. And you know, like those dentist chairs that are like it looks like a dentist chair, but it's like propped all the way up. Like it's not like fully laid back. Mm-hmm. And there's all these contraptions just strapped to it. And she's just asking me these very normal questions. And then we start doing the physical test. And it's like normal, like blood pressure, whatever. But then she's like, we're going to do something different. And she like straps me down and like puts like those like laughing gas masks on me. And I guess she starts just like giving me some like random ass gas that makes me start to panic. But she's like reading all these super scientific calculations on her computer. And it was very interesting going through that as like a little child. Like I don't have any trauma related to it. I just think it's funny. It's like, why would you do that?
Well, I guess so. Is the study still going on?
I don't know. I think they're still doing a twin study. I don't know if they're still doing that specific study. But with this lady, she was just gonna be like, hey, just tell me when like it gets too much to you. And I just started like panicking because, you know, that's a really weird situation to be in. And so I tell her, take it off. And she says, no, we're getting good test results. All the while, my brother's hearing me like scream and cry in the room next over. Probably like really nervous for what he has to do next.
Right. What did they, I mean, so did they get any conclusions?
Well, that's the next part of it. My brother, since he didn't do the physical test, because we went to go switch, my brother was like, absolutely not. They technically couldn't make a conclusion because they didn't get the other half.
So your brother heard you screaming and noped out.
Yeah, basically.
You can't have a twin study with just one.
No, you can't. So
Wow.
I just randomly remembered this thing too.
Did your mom
get
a
year ago, but
did your mom get any money for your torture?
I think so. I don't know if it was torture. I think it could have just been me genuinely panicking as a kid, but I just think the situation's more funny than anything. Just very peculiar.
Was your mom like mad at your brother for not participating in the study?
She seemed a little disappointed more than anything, but they still gave her like the full amount of money, which I find interesting. I guess that just comes with like working with children, you know? Like sometimes they're just not going to cooperate.
Right. Yeah. This sounds like how people get human centipeded, is with like studies like this.
Oh, don't compare it to that.
Well, what's your name again? Abby?
Yeah, Abby.
Well, thanks for letting me rant to you about Garfield for 10 minutes. I really do appreciate you, being there while I did that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
Not really. Just don't trust scientists, I guess.
That is a great message. Do not trust science.
I didn't think about that.
Do not trust. No, Abby, you said it. You can't take it back. We do not trust scientists. We question everything.
Oh no.
There is no such thing as verifiable evidence, and the solar system revolves around the Earth. Thank you very much for calling, Abby.
All right.
See you.
See you later.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. Hello. Hi. What is your name?
Hey, my name is Stella. How are you doing, Lyle?
It's what?
Stella.
Stella.
Sure, or whatever you'd like.
Stella, like the beer, Stella Arose.
Yes.
Eros.
Yeah, I don't know how to... Astoires? That's how you pronounce it. I guess it's...
Stella.
Yeah.
Because when the sun shines, we'll shine together. All right. Well, what's up, Stella?
Mm-hmm.
How you doing? How's life, Stella?
Life is pretty up in the air, trying to stay afloat.
Sure.
But, I mean, nonetheless, it's good to be alive, you know? How are you?
How am I? I'm every single day I'm realizing that I don't know anything about fucking anything. And there's like life can only be I don't know if it's a quote directly that somebody said or if it's more of a just general adage. But the idea that life can only be lived forward and understood backwards makes so much goddamn sense to me every year that I get a little bit older and things start to make sense a little bit more. And it's weird for me. I'm giving you the actual answers to the question of how I'm doing. So give me a sec.
As you should. I expect nothing less.
And you know, I genuinely, I really like doing this podcast when I am in the position of like being, I don't know. Sometimes I struggle with it. But sometimes like today, for some reason, I'm having a real good time with it. But sometimes I struggle with it because it's, you know, people will be wanting, I guess, my perspective on things, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't really know. But it's, I don't know. Sometimes I like it the other way around. I like when I get people's perspective on stuff. It's fun. It's interesting. It's a real It's an honor to get to do, and it's an honor to get to do something like this. But also, it's way better when I'm caffeinated. I'm learning about that. I'm learning about how to not be depressed. I think I figured it out. I actually genuinely think I figured out how to not be depressed.
Okay, what's the equation?
Okay, first you have to have $5 million. We can't talk about any of the other steps unless you have $5 million. First you have to have $5 million, and then you have to have a beautiful husband or wife. They can be really nothing less than 10 out of 10. This is the most gorgeous person that you've ever seen, and they have to love you unconditionally. You have to be, you know, like they have to love all of your flaws. They have to love you unconditionally. So $5 million, beautiful life partner who loves you unconditionally. What else? I know it starts with those two things.
Okay. Those are top tier things.
If you don't have those two things, you're probably fucked and miserable. But what's up with you, Stella? What made you call in today?
Nothing in particular. I mean, I just in general, I think you kind of opened it up perfectly with not knowing anything day by day as you get older. Mm-hmm. I kind of feel the same way. Mm-hmm. Both like in a micro level and a macro level when it comes to just living life day by day. But let's get specific. Let me just give you a random micro level to that.
Go ahead.
I currently live with my sister and her boyfriend. It was just me and her when it first began. But now I'm really looking into getting out and just going on my own. But again, that goes back to your $5 million and someone who loves you unconditionally. You know, yes. I don't have $5 million. I have someone. Do they love me unconditionally? No, probably not. I mean, can anyone really? No, I don't think so. But, so I'm just stuck between like, do I go on? I mean, I can do it. I have money, not $5 million, but I can go on my own. I mean, the economy's not the best right now, but I can probably be okay.
So what's going on? What's going on with your current situation? Why are you trying to get out of it?
Nothing's wrong with it, actually. It's perfect. Like, me and my sister are great. We've been through a lot together, and it made our bond stronger, you know, and I think living with her has been such a blessing. But I want something that's my own, you know, like my own space, my own universe within four walls, you know. And I think it's just time. I've been in the same place for 5 years now, and I have a good job, so it's afforded me the ability to even think about this, you know, like be able to say, hey, I can and want to get my own place. But then I just think I overthink things, especially when it comes to just making decisions in general in life. It's not like my forte. I second guess things all the time and have to overanalyze and overthink. So I'm like constantly on the internet trying to find answers to things, use ChatGPT to the finest detail, ask like, how do I get from point A to point B?
What? So
I can never think on my own though.
Yeah, I have a similar thing. I have a similar thing. Now, so you said you have a person in your life and they love you with a few conditions, which is I think the best that you can get. Are they gonna move in with you? Is that the idea, or are you like totally placed on your own?
That's the thing. I don't know. I don't think financially and mentally it's doable for them to come and be with me if we get like a place together. And that kind of like, that hurts a little because I make it very aware what I expect and what I want, you know, from a partner or my boyfriend or whatever, and it just doesn't seem to click. But then I understand that there's a lot of mental boundaries that can stop somebody from seeing their own potential and then being that for somebody else who has vocally let them know, like, hey, this is what I want. So I don't put it past him to not. Mm-hmm.
Can I ask what's if this is, you know, something you want to talk about or go into, like what does that look like?
So I mean, he's my boyfriend. He's the type to like go back to the past a lot and say, I used to make so much money and I was able to afford an apartment for me and my partner. That's like his ex at the time or whatever. And he's like, but shit's not like that anymore. You know, I'm not the same person physically and I'm not capable of making so much money like you or whatever. And I don't make six figures or anything, but I'm pretty okay where I'm at, you know. But he says that a lot and I'm just like, where's like the motivation to be in this together, to want to make what I make or more possibly, you know? I know there's a lot of boundaries and obstacles that stop people from doing things, but Like, I'm here with you. I want to do this with you. Like, let's go. Let's be fucking ride or dies, you know? Like, that's always what I thought having somebody would be. And obviously my past isn't perfect either. But, like, I'm ready to go through the ringer with anybody. Like, the muck and the mire, just to come out like the shining phoenixes from the ashes. Not to be corny or like.
God.
Oh
my God! You are reaching your hand out to this man, begging him to. Well, begging, but you're reaching this. You're not begging. Yeah, but you're reaching your hand out to this man, and saying, "Walk the walk with me, my friend." And he's
yeah, my dear.
He doesn't.
Yeah,
walk the walk with me, my dear. And what's he's saying?
He says yes. He says,
okay, great.
What are you going to say when somebody's saying that to you? You know, he has a great heart. He's a good man. I'm not saying anything is wrong with him, but everybody has their flaws, and I want to work with him on them, you know. But I have also been, and that's another thing, too, is myself. I don't want my past to get in the way of going on this journey with this person, because I have my flaws of, like, the minute a voice is raised in a conversation or, like, disrespect is there, I'm like, no, I gotta go. I gotta walk away. I need to, like, it's done, it's over. And he's like, whoa, you know, I may have exacerbated a situation. Is that
a flaw?
You know? For me, like I said, I think maybe because of my past, I see everything as not a red flag, but, you know, something to be weary of and scared of and anxious of, and then I take it to the next because of the overthinking, overanalyzing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
What's your job now?
So I'm basically an executive administrator for a very big, powerful organization. And yeah,
cool.
It's a very comfortable position. It's a very cool position. I'm able to help a lot of people, and that's what I love the most. But it's I want, like, the rural life, and this kind of job is more like city, political, you know, smiley face when you want to burn everything down kind of position, you know? And I hate that, but
you want the rural life.
What it is now. Yeah, I do. I want something quaint. The traditional, like, fucking white picket fence or farm, whatever, with the husband and the kids. That's what I want. I don't want this fucking businesswoman shit. That's so overrated. For me, anyways. No offense.
When you like the rural life, like, do you want to be like do you want to just like just take care of the kids, or do you want to have, like, work on a farm, or, like, what's the dream? Give me the dream for you, like the dream scenario.
The dream? Okay.
Yeah.
Dream scenario is, I'm with my kids all day, and me and my kids are doing farm work, helping with the goats and the rabbits and the, you know, not the cows, that's a lot of work, and horses are too, but, you know, at least like a homesteadish kind of thing. With the hubby that, you know, does gets his hands dirty too, and is able to provide for us, and I provide for him, you know, in that way because of what he does for the family, you know, like, that's what I want. And away from the city, away from too many people. I do want family around, but just, you know, in general, it's good to be to create your own, you know.
Now, I'm curious, and by the way, I fall victim. People would not believe, for a guy who runs a I hate calling this an advice podcast, but whatever. People, I talk a bunch of shit on here, and people I think would be surprised at how often I Google how to be happy or overthink decisions, or you know, do all the things that you describe. I call a billion friends and talk to ChatGPT about things and all this stuff. So I feel actually kind of interesting asking you this question, but as from talking to you for 2 seconds, you sound like actually a person who's pretty confident about what they want out of life and who they are and whatever. That's just a projection I'm getting upon you. And so, what are you overthinking?
I think I overthink maybe that life that I just said to you right now.
Right.
In my head, I'm like, well, maybe that's not the way. Maybe I am supposed to be this cocktail hour businesswoman lady with a high rise and floor to ceiling windows and fucking, girls' night and stuff like that. Like the basic non-traditional woman, I guess.
Yeah.
I second guess that, and then I second guess, hey, maybe this person isn't the one for me, but then I'm like, wait, aren't you supposed to stay and fight for things, And this is the most healthiest relationship I've ever been in, and like, he is. I love him. Like, he's great. But again, past stuff, right? And then you second guess and overanalyze, and yeah, like I could take it back all the way to childhood type of overanalyzing. Like that's how much I go into the thinking. I even had to get off of birth control because it was making me so existential. Even like I would smoke weed and I was on birth control, and I literally thought I was in other planes of existence because I was overthinking myself. But like now I can do it. I'm chill. I'm like no birth control, anything, and I smoke, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can analyze and not be thrown into other orbits. But
yeah,
that was so
it's funny.
Sorry about that.
No. It's a whole bar. It's one continuous bar, one complete bar. It's funny you say all this stuff because I was just saying that I don't know anything, but there are a couple of things I have come to that I can say that I believe with my whole heart that I won't question. There's a couple of things. One is that I believe this I gutturally believe this. Like when I am in a because there's sides of yourself, right? There's like you when you're emotions are out of it and when you're like in tune with your higher being, and then there's you when you're like whatever, hungry or horny or sad or angry or happy or joy or related, and you're like letting those emotions run the fucking show. But me, when I'm in my like connected to what I feel like is like, oh, this is like my this is my super ego or the high, in that state of mind, I genuinely believe that like the ability to make the decisions that I overthink is like a deep privilege. It's like a deep honor to even get to fucking decide. And like again, when I'm connected to my higher being for 1 fucking second out of the day, which I'm really typically not. I just want to make it clear, I'm really typically not. But when I am, I'm like, that's how I really feel. It's like, oh, it's such a privilege to even be like, oh, which, who will I fall in love with, and what cool career will I have, and like all these things are like they're privileges to even get to think about, right? That's how I really feel. And so I know that to be true. When I'm connected to my higher being, normally I'm not thinking about that. Normally I'm overthinking and spiraling and whatnot. But the other thing I know to be true, I forgot while I was explaining the first thing. But okay, I remember it now. Okay. I really feel like I'm coming to some I 80. I'm not even sure how sure I am. That's how insane I am. I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna go with pretty sure. I'm not gonna put a number on it. I'm pretty sure that people in general are happier when they're just in the moment of the thing, when they're just like, when they're not overthinking, when they're not talking about death and overthinking every single one of their fucking decisions, and we're just like, oh, today I have to milk the cows, and I don't have time to think about whether or not this is what I should be doing with my life, because I gotta go milk these fucking cows. I don't have time to think about it. I'm just fucking doing it. And I don't know, it's hard, right? Because some people, some people are like, I don't have time to think about whether this shitty office job is making me miserable or not, because I gotta do it. And that's not that's ultimately not good. There's some kind of like ideal optimal balance between thinking about things and being in the moment of stuff, and I haven't found it, but I definitely know that like overthinking fucking everything is not the way to do it. And it's like this with I guess relationships too, because on one hand you could sit and think, oh, is this the right thing for me? And then on the other hand, you could just be in the moment of whatever it is. And life is, I guess, like trips to the basement of I'm actually in my life versus the attic of let me think about things for a second. And I guess you balance that until you die. I don't know the proper thing. And also it's weird because some people, like we all have like friends who they just somehow they just are not overthinkers and they just do shit with their life and they don't think about it and they're just innately fucking like born with it. Like I have friends like that and I'm like, I don't know how I have friends who just do life perfectly without even thinking about it somehow. And then I have friends who cannot stop thinking. I lean much closer to that part of the spectrum. And yeah, I don't know how much of this is just you're just born with more neuroticism versus you just are a person who does shit. But yeah, ultimately I guess when I'm in touch with my higher being for the 1 second a day that I am lucky to be, that's how I feel. It's like, oh, it's a privilege. Most of the time though, I, like every other human, like a lot of other human beings on the planet, am, controlled by fear-based decision-making and emotion-based overthinking and, all these fucking things. But yeah, that's my rant about anything.
I loved it. That was great. It resonated for sure, 100%.
How old are you, by the way? Because I'm going to be honest, when you first picked up the phone, I thought you were like 15, but now I think you might be like 28.
Lies. Oh, shit. Good job. Yeah, 28.
You're 20? Okay, you're older than me. All right.
Yeah. I am.
Well,
sometimes it doesn't feel like that, though, honestly, Lyle. Sometimes you make me feel like I'm 20 or something. Like, way your mind works, I appreciate that.
Please take everything I just said to you at face value. Well, it's funny, though, because, well, I'll tell you something real quick. I was at a bar 2 nights ago, and I was talking to someone, and I was like, oh, how old are you? And they were like, I'm 22. And they were like, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 27. And they made that face, and they went, oh, like that was old. And it's fun. It was funny to me because I swear just yesterday, I was 22. I literally had that exact same interaction fucking just yesterday where I was the 22-year-old and I met a guy who was 27 and I made that fucking face when he told me. And it's so weird that I'm on the other end of that. I feel like I just flash forwarded to like 5 fucking years or something.
Yeah. You just had like a retro memory. Yeah.
Yeah. And now that it's funny because I remember being like 22 and I couldn't imagine what it would like to be like 27. And now, like, I'm in Reddit, and you read a Reddit post, like, you read a Reddit comment where some guy is like, I'm 46 years old, and here's what's going on with me. And I'm like, you're telling me I'm going to be 40, you're telling me that 20 fucking years later, I'm still going to, like, have problems and thoughts and feelings, and this shit just keeps going? It's crazy, it's too much, it's so much to think about, it's insane.
And that's why I have to stop myself, because then everything else that's like literally in my face happening in my life is not going to get dealt with, because I will go that far into my thinking. Right. But yeah, back to what you said, just being present in the moment and having like that attitude of grace and gratitude that you get to have these fucking decisions be so in your life and not like, hey, what am I going to eat the next day, which many do have to think of like that. But I agree with you. And then also I do like, I go to my faith a lot, and that does keep me grounded and stable half the time, most of the time actually, 95% of the time.
Are you religious?
I'm, yeah, sure, I guess. I really, the cliche thing where people say I have a relationship with Christ. You know, that's how I see it.
Cool.
But yeah, religious, sure, call it that.
Cool. I think that's good. I think having a, you know, I don't know. I've been thinking about like it's funny because I think when you're like a young atheist or whatever, you kind of like blow I think blow it off, but then you're like, oh, it's kind of nice to like believe in something, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, there's a peace and comfort that comes with it. It's like
Right.
you don't. I kind of like the thought of not having to control everything in my life. Like literally, if if God could just take everything and do anything with my life, I wouldn't mind.
I was thinking
having to decide scares
Yeah,
the shit out of me.
Right. I was actually going to bring this up when I was on this rant. Is if somebody has an experience with this, please call in. I would love to talk to you. But I was thinking about like arranged marriage, you know, and it's like on one hand, it's like, oh, arranged marriage. It's like the ultimate like you know, lack of freedom. Like your parents, it's a very like un-American idea. Like your parents like pick who you're gonna like. Your life is like chosen. This huge thing is like chosen for you, you know, and it's like a very I don't know, like there's a lot, of course, on paper wrong with that idea, but then in the back of my mind, I'm a little bit like, oh, there's something about like you're okay. This is what you got to deal with, and no, you don't get to decide whether or not it works for you. You just have to fucking deal with it.
Right,
But I'm like, oh, that has yeah.
Do.
I'm like, oh, that probably has like pros to it. If someone is listening to this and has experience with it, please call in. I'm curious about it because they might call in and be like, it sucked. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I can't even speak on that. I thought the same as you. I can't speak on it. No arranged marriages over here, but just the thought of like, if I had a healthy family dynamic and relationship, they would have my best interest in picking, you know, this person who's going to be able to provide for me and for the family, right? Because it's a whole endeavor. It's not just about me and this other person. It feels comforting in a way. But again, I can't speak on it. That's not a part of my circle, but that's my thoughts anyway. But pros and cons to everything. And like you said, everything's a balance.
Well, Stella, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about or say to the people of the computer before we go?
Not at all. Also, your voice sounds completely normal. Doesn't sound any different than on the podcast.
Well, good. I'm very honored to have a normal voice.
Yes, normal as can be. It was great talking to you. Really appreciate
Great talking to you too, Stella. Hope you have a good rest of your entire life, and I will see you around the universe.
Yep, same to you.
All right, take care, Stella.
Bye.
What is it? Stella Aros? Stella. Hold on, I'm gonna figure out how do you fucking pronounce this. Stella. Okay. Well, everyone, shut up for a second. I'm trying to think. Everyone. I'm trying to think. Everyone, stop. Okay, Stella Artotis. Why would you name your product something that people can't even say it? I'm gonna say it's Stella Artois. How do you pronounce it? Stella Artois phonetic pronunciation. Artois. What the fuck? Okay, it's Stella Artois. This looks, if you read it literally, it's Stella Artois. I'm calling it Artois. Why would you name your product something that people can't say what it is? Okay, sorry.